Hey guys, I get a lot of questions about this and a lot of DMs about the school nurse and how we manage at school. And I think a lot of people are nervous about it. So I just wanted to give you guys some advice and tell you what we do. So the first thing I recommend if your kid goes to public school, which mine do, is a 504 plan. This basically protects the student against anything pertaining like their disability. Just for a few examples, I'll tell you like what we put in Raylan's. So she has to have access to food and water at all times, like especially if her sugar's low. She's allowed to get up and get a snack at any point during the day. Absences and tardies do not pertain to her if it's something related with diabetes or her sugar. So if she's up all night with high blood sugar and has ketones the next morning and doesn't feel up to going to school, they can't hold that absence against her. They also cannot require her to do any type of testing when her blood sugar is not in range. So if it's like a state test and her blood sugar is really high or really low, she is able to reschedule the test. The school must provide good Wi-Fi for her Dexcom readings, and she's allowed to have her phone at all times. She doesn't have to have it on her desk. She just has to have it on her. Now, my daughter is 9 now, so it's a little different because she's got some responsibility, but I bought her an Apple Watch so that at any point during the day, because she doesn't take her phone out, she can see her blood sugar. But also, I can text her and say, hey, you need to check your sugar, it's going low, or, you need to go to the nurse, your sugar's really high, or whatever. The school has to provide somebody to go on all the field trips in the event that I cannot, so that she doesn't miss out on that opportunity that is trained for her care. So I'm pretty sure that's like most of the important things on the 504. If you guys have 504 plans and something I forgot, drop it in the comments and I want to know what you guys do. Okay, so for the school nurse, our school nurse is amazing. Absolutely love her. In contact with her all day, every day. She checks in with me, especially like when we were new to diagnosis. This year's a little different because Raylan's a little bit more independent. So last year, I'll tell you what we did. So our nurses and teachers are not allowed to have the Dexcom app on their phone, which I thought was kind of crazy, or on so they have no way to track their blood sugar. So it is literally on me and my husband to keep an eye on her blood sugar and tell the nurse if it's going high or low. She can see it too, but she's not going to pull out her phone and get the alert until the alarm's already going off. So it's just something that I try to keep an eye on as the day goes on. Also, I have the SugarMate app on my watch. So like right now, her blood sugar is 136. So I can literally just do this and see it at any point during the day, which is nice. So last year, her blood sugar would drop. Nurse would go get her, bring her back, treat it, and she would sit there for 15 minutes until it came up. Also, she goes to the nurse's office for her insulin. Last year, she was on injections. Now she's on a pump, but she still goes for her insulin. Although I feel like she doesn't really have to, but she really likes the nurse, so she really likes going in there and seeing her. So that's fine. I pack her lunch every single day because I write her carbs down, so I already know what she's going to eat, and she goes in there and gets the insulin. We dose before lunch because if not, her blood sugars are a disaster afterwards. But last year, they were nervous about it, so they dosed after, and her blood sugar did not do well. This year, we're doing much better. Our school does free lunch, but they can't provide the carb count. And also, we would be guessing. But also, it changes a lot. So, if I think she's having spaghetti and she gets there, and sometimes it'll be tacos. So I just don't want to be stressed out with that. And Raylan just prefers that I pack her lunch. So that's what we do. So this year, because we are way more independent now, she spent the whole summer with a babysitter, just doing her own thing, doing her own carb counting, insulin, low blood sugars, whatever. So I put in her care plan this year that she can treat her own low blood sugars in the classroom. I actually like that a lot better because she misses way less class. Last year, she spent a lot of time in the nurse's office waiting for the blood sugar. And then also it's a long walk. So if her blood sugar's low and her legs are shaky, she has to walk all the way to the nurse. And that was kind of a pain too. So this year I have a box in every room, her classroom, music, art, gym, library, and she has low snacks in every room. She also carries a little book bag with her that has plenty of low snacks and all her other things like her meter and stuff. So when she goes low, she can just get up and grab something, sit back at the desk and wait. There's only been twice that her sugar has not come up quick enough to the point where she felt really bad. And the teacher calls the nurse just to come and get her and kind of comfort her and keep a good eye on her. But usually no matter what, if she's in the nurse's office, the nurse writes to me and lets me know. So I'm aware immediately. And then in her little book that I send, which I'll have to show you guys that little book tour. She goes in the morning. She has her blood sugar before lunch, before lunch, after lunch, at the end of the day. Also, she used to check her sugar before recess and gym, but now we don't do that because I have Raylan just glance at it. And I'm like, if your sugar's good, you don't need to go to the nurse and have her check it. But if for some reason it's like a little trending low before that activity, I have her go get a few like peanut butter crackers or something like that. Another thing that I love is whenever our nurse is leaving early, going out of town, or going to be absent, she always sends me a message to let me know, and she'll let me know who the replacement nurse is, who is also somebody that I communicate with a lot, so it's usually no big deal. But I do appreciate that she lets me know she's not going to be there, just so that if I do need something, I know.